Hi to everyone. I would like to explain about what is router and its functions, IP routing and types of routing. Let me explain clearly about what is a routing, what is a router. Okay. So generally, where we use routers, what is the main function of router, and what are the types of routers. In our daily basis, also we use routers, right? So router is a hardware device. Usually, a router is what hardware device which enables communication between two or more different logical networks. So let me explain one clear example, taking one network diagram here. Let's see this. So here I have one network. Let's consider is my branch office 1, and let's consider I have one more branch office 2. So in branch office 1, like all end user devices are connected to uncentralized devices switch with RJ45 CAT cables, and I have assigned the class C address here is 192.168.1.0 for next device 1.20, 1.30. Like in my local network, like all devices are same network. The network is 192.168.1.0 is a network address. Similarly, even the branch office too also, like all end user devices are connected to one centralized device, which is a switch with RJ45 CAT cables, and have assigned here also class C, but the network is 192.168.2.10, 2.20, 2.30. So this network is 192.168.2.0 is the network, is the LAN. In branch office 1, all LAN users they can communicate. Why? Because all are in a same network addresses. Even the branch office 2 also all devices can they communicate. Why? Because all are in what? Same network. I mean same logical network address. But if your requirement is a if you want to enable communication between branch office 1 to branch office 2, like one network to another network, like one logical network to another logical network, now we require a router here. So here only router will come in the picture. But how many routers are required here? Only one router or two routers? It depends upon where your networks are being located. Example, your branch office 1 in a Hyderabad is in a India. Like your branch office 2 is in a USA locations. Like two networks in geographically different locations, then we require two routers here. So let me take one router example. I'm using here one router for Hyderabad branch office 1 and one more router for branch office 2. Let me connect to my network. So router is an inter-networking device, means one network to another network, like interconnection of two or more different networks we call what? Internetwork. Internetwork device, which enables communication between two or more different logical networks. This is the point exactly I'm going to explain here. It enables communication between two or more different logical networks, means 1.0 is one network, 2.0 is another logical network. So the device which is going to make a communication between these two logical network means the router, right? So actually, it's a layer 3 device. The TCP/IP in the OSI layers is works under layer 3 network layer device. Actually, the words came from a route. If you find the best route also to reach your destinations. To reach your destination, you have a more than one path. What router will do is going to find the best routes, right? Like what are the IPs being assigned for your router? Generally, your first usable addresses like 192.168.1.1 is a first usable address. So these IP addresses are dedicatedly assigned for my branch office 1 router. Similarly, 192.168.2.1 IP address is been assigned for your branch office 2 router. So these are IPs are gateway, default gateway for all end user devices. This is the point here. IP of router is the default gateway for all devices in the LAN. Right? Between India office and USA office, between these connectivity can be made sure by internet service providers. Like this will comes under WAN technologies. We have a different type of WAN technologies are available. So this is going to completely maintained and managed by your service providers and telco department. So then about a router. Now let me say router types also. Types of routers. There are two types of routers: software and hardware routers. Hardware routers are in market. We have a multiple vendors are available. Like one of the top leading manufacturer companies, a Cisco, even Juniper, Multicom, HP, D-Link, Maipu. We have many more vendors in the market. And software routers. So software routers are Microsoft Server and Linux Server. Microsoft Server is a software routers and Linux servers also, right? So dedicatedly routing algorithms, routing protocols can be configured in a hardware router. Right? So there are types of routers, and let me continue with function of router. Like what exactly router do? Router will do what? What is the functioning of routers? Right? Inter-network communication. So we know about that. Inter-network communication means communication between two or more different networks is inter-network communication. The same example here, 1.0 and 2.0. And point number two is a best path selection. Like to clear understand for best path selection, we explain clearly about one network diagram. So this is my network topology. Let's consider is my router A, router B, router C, router D, router E, F, G, and H routers. Like in router A LAN network, I'm making use here 192.168.1.0, which is a /24. Even the router H, I'm making use 192.168.2.0/24. Like how we can allow the communication, how we can forward the traffic from one dot network to two dot network. So from router A LAN users to reach router H LAN users, we have a three routes, three paths. The traffic can go via your WAN port, WAN interface 1, which is we call the serial port number say 0/0, and which is a another WAN port, serial interface 0/1, and then interface serial 1/0. Like from A LAN users to reach H LAN users, we have a three routes, three paths. So when you have the more than one path, what router will do? Best path selection, so which is a shortest route based upon the algorithms, based upon the network administrators. You'll find out what? Shortest route. Either 0/0 or maybe 0/1 or 1/0. It can be any one which is being selected by router that we call best path selection. If traffic is going via shortest route, we can reach a fast communication can get. Right? The next point is a packet switching and packet forwarding. So what is a packet switching and what is packet forwarding? Let me explain clearly about other 2 points. In generally, we use a internet connectivity for this device at home, right? If we clearly observe this, we have a LAN ports here, LAN ports, and one is a internet port, which we call WAN port. Now, from service providers, the cable is coming from internet service provider. So that cable is connected to your internet ports, and your devices are connected to your LAN ports, right? Same topology. Your end user devices are connected to LAN ports. Let's consider this is my ISP. ISP is connected to internet. This is WAN port. These all are LAN interfaces, LAN ports. Okay. Now, end users are making use 192.168.0.1 network, some network 0.1 or 0.0 network ID /24. And these users want to access a google.com. So my destination is a Google server. Let's say google.com IP address is 18.1.2.9, some network. Like here, end users and Google server both on the different logical networks, right? Like to enable communication between the two logical networks, we require a router that we call inter-network communication. First point. Between the source and the destination, to reach the traffic, we have the more than one path. A router is going to find the best path, that we call what? Best path selection. Point number 3, packet switching. What is packet switching means? Generally, end user means first computer is trying to communicate with access a Google server. So source is 192.168.0.0 network. Destination, let's consider 18.0.0 is the destination. Your packet is being generated. So this packet come to which port of the router? LAN port. Now what LAN port will do? The traffic LAN port will switch to WAN port. Like all end users traffic is coming to the LAN ports, all LAN ports will do what? Will switch to WAN ports. So sending IP traffic from LAN port to WAN port, this process we call packet switching. After packet switching, now WAN port is connected to which router? ISP router. From your local router, the traffic is going to ISP router, right? So sending a IP traffic from one router to another router. So this process we call packet forwarding, right? Packet switching and packet forwarding. I repeat once again. Now ISP router is being received the traffic, WAN port to one more ISP. Let's consider one more ISP. Like we can't say only single ISP is directly connected to Google server. In between we have number of ISPs are connected, like ISP1, ISP2, all internet routers, WAN port to WAN port, packet switching, ISP router to ISP, ISP router to ISP router is packet forwarding, again ISP to ISP, internally, packet switching, packet forwarding. So these process we call what? Packet switching and packet forwarding. Entire routing can done based upon what? Packet switching and packet forwarding. As a network engineers, responsibilities, we need to monitor how exactly routers doing this job. If any one of the routers packet is not switching, so we need to find out why it is not packet switching. Any IP problem, any protocol issues, any cable issues, like we need to find out. We need to keep monitor 24/7. Like any of the router is not forwarding the traffic or not packet switching the anything. We need to find out the trouble, right? So we have a separate team to monitor that 24/7. Another function of routers, right? All right. Let me continue with how to the traffic, like all the functions, network communication, best path selection, packaging, and packet forwarding. So how it possible to move the traffic from one network to another network? Like router A is example, router A LAN users to reach router H LAN users. To move the traffic, we need to configure IP routing. So let me explain clearly what is IP routing and types of routing. IP routing. So IP routing is a process of moving traffic from one network to another network. What does it mean by? From your mobile phone or your laptop folder, if you type one website name www.facebook.com. So once you type the facebook.com, from your device, a traffic is being generated, is going to reach your Facebook server and reply will come back, right? So whenever traffic is going from your device to Facebook server and reply will come back, then only you can get the page, the Facebook page. The communication has been enabled. So what exactly technically happened here? From your device, data traffic is being generated from this network. moving the packet from one network to another network, and reply will come back. So this process we call what? IP routing. The same example, like when traffic, your branch office 1, all LAN users want to communicate with your branch office 2, a traffic is being generated from your end user. You go to router, router to ISP, ISP to destination. Like moving of traffic from one network to another network, this process we call what? IP routing. And IP routing involves two basic activities. What are the activities? The first one is a out of multiple routes, finding a best route. We have with three routes, finding a shortest route. Like after finding the best route, the second activity is a forwarding IP traffic through best routes. Clear? And repeat. Let me repeat. IP routing is the process of moving traffic from one network to another network. It involves two basic activities. The first one is a finding a shortest route. After finding shortest route, forwarding traffic through best routes. The other activity. Routing is the process of moving IP packets from one LAN to another LAN or one network to another network, defining best paths, forwarding packets through this best path. These are the two basic activities. Right? Now let's see types of routing. Types of routings are static routing, dynamic routing, and default routing. The first one is what is static routing? The static routes are configured, maintained, updated by network administrator manually. So manually, we need to update. Let me show you the some small practical here. Say I have designed some network. The best example we already discussed, which is the branch 1 and is the branch 2. So how to connect the branch 1 branch 2 in between? Service provider can make sure that, but this time connecting one interface cable on serial 0/0 to other side 0/1. Cable is being connected. Now let me log into router, and if you check the link status information, if you check clearly, I have fast Ethernet 0/0, which is my LAN port, and serial 0/0, which is my WAN port. IPs are being assigned, and link status is up, protocol is up. So two interfaces are up. Now if you check the routing table of this router, show IP routes. So we have two directly connected networks are available. The same thing, the next router is branch 2. Sorry for that. So even here also, fast Ethernet 0/0, 0/1 have two. One is LAN and one is a WAN ports. IP is assigned and status is up. Check my routing table. So two directly connected networks are available. 172.16.0.0 is directly connected to serial interface, and 192.168 this interface is connected to fast Ethernet. Okay. The static routing is a method of, so static means what? Like manually we need to update all destination network ID in your routing table. It's the dynamic routing protocol. Like automatically we'll do that. Your branch office 1 router maintains here two directly connected networks. Your branch office 2 router maintains two directly connected networks. If you implement static routing between your branch 1 to branch 2 to enable communication, your branch office 2 network information, let's say branch office 2 network is 10.0.0. So this network information manually we need to update near branch office 1, which is static routing. In the branch office 1, network is 192.168.1.0. So this network manually we need to update near branch office 2 also. This is 192.168.1.0 by static routing. So network administrator manually have to update your routing tables. If any new router is being added, like your branch office 3 is added in your network. Now branch office 3 network is a 192.168.8.0, for example. So this information in when the branch office 1 we need to update, in the branch office 2 also we need to update manually in case of what? Static routing. In case of dynamic routing, if you implement dynamic routing, so whenever any changes happens in a network, one new router is being added or any links is being failed, we can get automatic update. So 192.168.8.0 dynamically, automatically updated. Even the branch 2. The network administrator no need to update them manually. So protocol is going to making sure updates automatically. Those are the major difference between static routing and dynamic routing. Static routing configured, maintained, updation by network administrator manually. No automatic updates. Dynamic routing, any changes in the network topology, automatically update. So where we use static routing and where we use dynamic routing, small network and fixed network. So static routing is recommended for small networks and fixed networks. Then you can use what? Static routing. If it's a medium network and large network, we recommend what? Default routing. When the end user's traffic has to reach for internet, then we use what? Default routing also. Let me continue with the dynamic routing. Dynamic routing. So what is the advantage of dynamic routing is clearly here, automatic updates, any changes in network topology dynamically updated. Only the directly connected network means destination is not required to update to configuration. Compared to static routing, dynamic routing administrative work is very less. Right? Protocol is going to find the best path automatically. If best path is being failed, finding second best path automatically. Right? And any changes in network topology, you can get automatic updates. Your routing tables are automatically updated. Selecting a best path to destinations. If best path is being failed, finding second best path if best path is no longer available. Recommended for what? Medium and large networks. More scalable means it can support for small, medium, large, very large in enterprises. Like dynamic routing is compatible for any size of the network topology. Okay, so these are the major differences between static routing and dynamic routing. They'll say dynamic routing types of dynamic routing protocol. Majorly have a two categories. One is a IGP, which is interior gateway protocol. One more is a EGP, exterior gateway protocol. So IGP types are a distance vector protocol, link state protocol, advanced distance vector protocol, and EGP is a path vector protocol. The actual protocols are what? Protocols are RIP, IGRP, is routing information protocol, interior gateway routing protocols. So actually IGRP is being modified into RIP protocol. So similarly, listed protocols are OSPF, open shortest path first, ISIS, intermediate state and intermediate. Like generally, ISIS is being modified into OSPF. AIGRP, which is advanced distance vector protocol, or we can call it as a hybrid. The advantage of RIP, advantage of OSPF, have prepared one protocol is what? EIGRP is a hybrid protocol. In path vector, one and only protocol is a BGP, is border gateway protocol. We can say BGP is a backbone of internet routers. They're all internet routers, means service provider routers. The backbone protocol is a BGP, right? So these are about dynamic routing categories. Let me back to static routing. So here we have a two topologies, branch 1 and branch 2. Let me enable communication from branch 1 LAN users to branch 2 LAN users. I'll show you the small practical here. The branch 1 router is maintained only two directly connected networks. Check here, one is a serial 0/0 and one more is fast Ethernet 0/. About the branch 2, the branch also maintains the two directly connected networks. Serial interface 00, fast Ethernet 0/. So here we have two networks, 172.16.0.0, 192.168. So it's a consider 2.0, right? But branch office 1 don't have a 1.0 information. So branch office 2 network ID manually we need to add, we need to update in your branch 1 routing table in static routing. If you implement dynamic routing, destination branch office to network information automatically will update in your routing table. Let me configure that. Branch office 1, just manually I'm updating IP route. Our destination network is 192.168.2.0, subnet mask of class C 255.255.255.0. My exit interface type is a serial interface, the number is 0/0. Enter. And back to the privileged mode of Cisco IOS. Check the routing table. Now one network is being updated, it is static, right? Not only in one router, we need to update the second router also. Even the branch office 2 also, we need to update branch 1 routing information, right? Let me update here. IP route 192.168.1.0. The class C subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Serial interface 0/. What is my exit point here? Back to release mode. If I check show IP routes, statically is updated. Now branch 1 LAN users, branch 2 LAN users can communicate. Clear? So like we can implement static routing in real time also, same like. Thank you. In our next video, I'll explain clearly about dynamic routing, detailed explanation, dynamic routing, default routing. Once again, thanks to all.